king of the gods must have his hands full recently. In the name of
So I feel like nobody really
recommends
recommends a nicotine addiction. Just want to talk about my personal experience with starting with cigarettes, old school, and then a little bit of everything else for about a year with vapes and I guess mostly just vapes and the Zen a little bit. Where nicotine's a really funny substance, and one's a funny substance to like start using in adulthood, since I feel like usually people start when they're like young, dumb, and don't know better, and I fully knew better and thought, what the hell, why not have an addiction, seems like a good time. It's a really funny one because it only does something when you do a little bit. After that, it's just sparkling addiction. Where when you first start a little bit, there's kind of like a fun sensation to it, tingly sensation, and then chemically what's going on is you're getting a spike of serotonin. But then with like prolonged use, your overall serotonin level drops, which is not good for your mental health. And then basically the only thing that nicotine is doing is removing the withdrawal symptoms, which is all that good stuff, that irritation, that headache, all that fun stuff. It's just on my mind because I'm in like the second week of having a nonstop level of headache from withdrawal, essentially. But it doesn't do something the way that other substances do something. It just removes the effects, and when you stop, stopping has been a really funny thing, since after getting past the worst of the headaches, as much as it doesn't feel like it does anything in the same way that drugs, are gonna severely change your mindset, or alcohol is gonna make you drunk, obviously. It does something funny where off it, I do feel the change in personality, where I'm just less patient and more easily irritable in a lot of ways. It makes me think of a quote by Tolkien, where he was talking about tobacco use, I believe. I'm paraphrasing, but he said that it makes it easier to respond to idiots with patience, something along those lines. And I find that funny because I didn't notice that effect necessarily, but going off, I notice how harder it is to react patiently. But he's wondering what's going on with the gameplay. It is just some ADHD stuff, of course, but it is just a brand new save that I made with the release of Hades 1, and I kind of had this idea of I'm gonna go through the whole game with a fine-tooth comb and talk about all the storylines and the progression mechanics and stuff like that. I might mention stuff like that as it comes up and stands out to me, but upon looking at it more, I realized I'm not really that guy. I'm more of ranty guy, not that fine-tooth, all the little details and things like that. I do love Arachne, one of my favorite characters. That's one of the things that they really hit out of the park. I'm gonna try and be positive because I really love this game. That's why I play and want to post a lot of content of it, but I feel like I can become critical too easily because of that lack of nicotine in my system. I'm all angry. Anyway, Arachne is a really great addition. Just, they really nailed the charming NPCs that you meet throughout your adventures, where you should be happy to run into them, A, because of their personalities, and B, because of their gameplay effect, where combining those things is how you make the gameplay and the story and world hold hands and get along with each other. Where you're excited to get this armor boost and some bonus effect from our spider friend, and you're also excited to hear from her because she's a cute little spider. And then same with, you know, Narcissus. He's a really funny narcissist, obviously, that's the whole thing, and also gives you resources. And then Echo can give you some really like game changing stuff. And then of course Hades gives you a really fun boon. The Hades boons are fantastic. They make you they give you some of the effects that Hades had in the first game. That was really clever. But yeah, this is just gonna be some good old ranty content with a little bit of a topic some of the time. But that's what the gameplay is. And whenever I'm doing rants or different things like that, probably just put up gameplay from this specific save file in no particular order. Maybe I should do it in order, actually. There's no reason why this one has to be the first. Spoilers, the first recording. But yeah, I probably should do it in order. I can do a first one with the first one. I'm pretty sure I have the first one. I know I lost one that made me really sad. I got like a Blitz Hestia duo fire. It was the first one that I got a solid hit on Kronos on the new save. And I was like, I wish I had that one recorded, but I didn't lose the recording, I just didn't make it. Oh dear, I'm losing my voice. I underestimate what this does to a voice. I've had lots of jobs talking in retail or door-to-door types of environments. And I guess what's you don't realize is even though you're talking all day, you're not really... It's very different from trying to do things like this because you have breaks between talking. You're not talking constantly for more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time at any given moment. And then another difference is that if you're doing anything door to door, whether it's like a campaign or sales or whatever you're doing, or retail, the vast majority of stuff you're doing is just repeating the same things. Whereas trying to do something like this, whether it's scripted or not, you need to be saying new things. Surprise, surprise, I'm not scripted right now. I was just gonna let my ADHD run wild a little bit and see how that goes. This fight is really annoying. I love it and hate it. I've got a hate-love thing with Hecate as well as with Polyphemus for different reasons. Talk about Polyphemus later when it's actually happening on screen. But with Hecate, especially when you turn the fear up on her, the alternate version, finding the clones is so just annoying to me. Yeah, I really feel like that's that in the hex thing. I do not know why I was standing still. I find that a little bit funny. But yeah, a lot of it's just have like off dodge timings. The constant movement you get to do while dealing damage with the wands is really fun to me. You have the witch phase, which almost never takes long at all. Since, if you don't know, in the hard version of this fight, she immediately splits into 3, and you have to find the real one at the beginning of every phase, including the first phase, including when you walk into the arena. She immediately does it. then you have this fight. But yes, what was my topic? Oh yeah, my topic. Nicotine. It's funny just because I feel like, you know, I've been told, you've been told, like everybody's been told that nicotine's a bad idea, that cigarettes are a bad idea. So it's like I'm not trying to do something to be like, don't do it. Because like, honestly, like if you want to experience it, just do. Like it's not illegal, it's not the most dangerous thing ever. It is bad for your health though. But just I guess since like I'm weird because like I went in with the intention of quitting at some point, since I knew like I'd have to quit at least once to prove that I can kind of see it with, see it without. So I started with like significantly depressed, where it's like I don't necessarily care in that specific moment about my longevity. So it's just kind of like, well, if this makes life more enjoyable in some way, then isn't that worth it? And in the sense it does, gives you something to do. And see, this is a funny thing where like I prefer cigarettes to vaping. I don't know if this is silly, but like I like lighters, and also like with the cigarette, like it forces me to go outside. I have gone outside today. I went outside to check the mail. But other than that, I haven't gone outside today, right? Like, if I were addicted to cigarettes right now, I would have gone outside like 2 or 3 times.
You seem to know your way around.
And, you know, seen the sun and whatever the sky is doing and all of that stuff. But I haven't. And, you know, really I should just like replace that habit with like walks and stuff like that, kind of obviously. But with vaping, it's so easy to do indoors as well as anywhere. It's just way too convenient. Where with, if I were using, like, I'm not using any nicotine right now, but if I were using cigarettes right now, then after I finish doing this, I would go out for a smoke and then come back, and it would create this division. If I were using a vape right now, I would just be hitting it right now. I would just be doing it right now at any given moment. And it's kind of like carries over to everywhere, not just when you're at home or in your house, but it's like if I'm watching a movie, like, yeah, I'll like hit a vape and blow it into my shirt or something so people can't see in the middle of a theater, but I would absolutely never light a cigarette in the middle of a theater. That's not happening. I guess like the only place I am more cautious with it is I will hit a vape on like a airplane or in airports. I don't want to mess with the TSA and airport security and all that kind of stuff. Just imagine getting like banned from an airline or something. Would they do that? Probably do that if they get mad enough. Although I feel like most flight attendants would probably just like pretend they didn't see anything. Just like, I don't care. At least half the flight attendants are probably doing it themselves. Which is like a funny thing too, where I just like saw that, talking about Gen Z, like I'm old Gen Z, young millennial, kind of in that overlap, but I'm 30-ish, but how Gen Z was like nearly the generation that kicked smoking, but then they made candy flavored smoking, and it was like, oh fuck yeah, let's do it. So that's kind of a funny thing. There's something like wholesome and nice and like the tradition to me about the habit of cigarettes, but since I travel sometimes, just in the United States specifically, cigarettes are such an antisocial behavior a lot of the time that it's just it's a more wholesome habit in the sense, like you're going outside, doing things like that, but it's also profoundly antisocial in the secondhand that it produces, as well as just the terrible smell. I actually don't mind the smell, but I know I'm in the vast minority.
What's all this?
See, this character would definitely wait. No way. No way would Narcissus want to have tobacco smoke on them. They would have some kind of... What flavor would they have? That's a funny question.
Idea. I'm not seeking a mate. I don't even know who you are.
I'm gonna... I mean, part of me wants to just, like, match color, right? Like some kind of, like, blueberry type of thing. I want to say, like, I want to say, like, one of those flavors that isn't even a flavor. It's just, like, an abstract concept. Oh, there's, like, the fucking fab. Yeah, he'd probably fucking fab. That's what, well, it's not. They, like, switch the C and the U, I think, so that it's not swearing on the branding, so it's, like, fucking. That sounds worse. Yeah, and this is one of those fun things here, too. King Vermin? King Vermin's not a vapor. Where they put in bosses from the first game a little bit. It's kind of funny that they went with Vermin. I find it weird they put him in the ocean. I feel like I'd expect to see him on a boat. But I also don't know if, or uh-oh as he's called at this point. I don't know if this character is a real... I don't know if this character is like based on anything in some kind of like myth or folk story or something, or if it's just a rat. I imagine it's just a rat, right? And there it goes. It's like just the ocean up here. It's not a place I'd expect a rat at the bottom of the ocean. Poseidon, I expect at the bottom of the ocean. Doing Poseidon things. Yeah, I figure at some point I'll kind of lose steam and let the last of the gameplay play out, but so far having fun with it. The part of what makes the process of back to topic, process of quitting nicotine so unpleasant, I guess is the way I'd put it, is that the thing that's like funny about nicotine is talking about how it's like just kind of like sparkling addiction, doesn't do anything, it just relieves symptoms, is nicotine is like more pleasant the lower your tolerance is, so it's kind of hard to wean yourself off, because as you use less, since like I'm a few weeks off right now like a cigarette or a vape would feel amazing, whereas if you've been using it for like months or years or whatever, it's kind of neutral, you don't really feel anything. But right now it would feel really great, so like as it gets lower it feels better. And essentially the way that since I kind of like failed a few times, you know, I could still fail now, but I'm not planning on it. Kind of the mindset I have to approach is that the headaches are a good thing. The headaches mean you're succeeding, because if you have that like trying to like wean yourself off and completely avoid a headache, like I don't think that's really possible. Maybe you can just have a really mild headache for a really long time, but that sounds worse than just being really pissy for like a week and then after that just being like slightly annoyed. They really upgraded Demeter, in my opinion. This is one of those like funny things about this game, is how they mix all of this narrative in with your runs. but just like the way I play games, with this run I wanted to, like, with this save file, purposefully slow down and try and enjoy the story more, but I don't tend to do that. Like, I tend to get the dialogue and it's just like, yeah, let's skip through this and get the duo and finish the run. Like, I just hyper focus on the gameplay, and then it's funny because, like, I hyper focus on the gameplay and then I'll watch YouTube videos and YouTube shorts about the character interactions and kind of like get into the character interactions that I have already skipped over. And like, even on my main file where I'm, you know, trying to beat the end of the game basically, I still don't know what the like unknown substance is. I'm kind of excited about that. But or where you get it, all that good stuff. And there it goes. I still tend to like skip over some of the important dialogue because I'm in the game. Yeah, I seem to have run out of thoughts about nicotine. There really isn't that much to it. It's part of what's disappointing about it. Yeah,
Cold comfort.
if you're trying to quit, do. If you're not, don't. Kind of simple thoughts about that. So yeah, so this run is a pretty mediocre run overall. I'll do some commentary through the Scylla fight, because really like the Scylla fight, and then I just get absolutely ended in 2 shots by Cerberus, partially because of I mean, really, I shouldn't get hit at all if you're good, right? But largely because Eris blessed me, which is one of the annoying things about starting a new save files. You have to get through all those Eris interactions where she makes your run arbitrarily harder.
Customs between our families and bring about a new eon of prosperity.
Into the abyss.
An ever-present song compels
Scylla.
the nightmare-bringing princess
She does say Scylla.
Towards the beauty, deeper.
I never know if I should say Scylla or Scylla. Or Homer says Scylla. But this is my favorite designed fight. A lot of people get annoyed with it, but it's my favorite one. I like the addition of Charybdis when you do rivals. I like how they're variations. I like how the stage 2, there's a slight variation of who the chosen artist is. You know, 3 in this version. If you add Charybdis, there are obviously 4. I love how in both the first and second phase, you have to kind of decide what order to do. The first phase, you can decide, you know, before you drop in how you want to do it. You kind of know every time. The second phase, you kind of have to like take into account who the featured artist is. Although I pretty much always just focus down Roxy, focus down your drummer. The overall movement in dodging all the projectiles is a lot easier when you don't have those AoEs. Yeah, you have like a kind of zoomy enemy, projectile enemy, and Scylla, and then the AoE, and then Charybdis just messes you up. I love the addition. It's the first Death Defiance. I believe we're gonna get Roxy. Oh, but it's the only boss in this game that has variations, which I think is kind of sad. I get it though, because it's an indie studio and they like doubled the amount of content they have to make essentially by having 2 routes, which I love. I love being able to have surface runs as well as underground runs. Underworld runs. It makes the game really enjoyable to me. but part of that is like you don't really get variations. You don't get variations of Holly or of Hecate, or it would be really cool if Hecate used different weapons, for an example. Or, you know, Eris, if she used different aspects every once in a while. I'm not sure what other aspects of the rail there are. Or she could use a bow, it doesn't matter. Kind of get the idea that there could be ways to make variations of all of the bosses. One of the 1.0 things they did that's kind of a nice improvement is making Scylla tankier right here. She doesn't just like instantly die in the final phase, although the final phase still is the easiest and almost ceremonial in a sense. And dying in that phase is really frustrating. Yeah, so this is kind of the two types of content I want to make. Did I say I wasn't? I'm just gonna post this first. I don't feel like making another thing today. But yeah, some just kind of vloggy gameplay in the background. I might do some scripted things at some point, and then also gameplay. But yeah, this mechanic I have mixed feelings about because it's such a good narrative thing, but in terms of like gameplay, it just makes me not want to start new save files because it's just annoying. Anyway, enjoy the rest of it. I'm finding my mouse and gonna pop. There's my mouse. Mouse? Yep. Alright. Yep, enjoy the rest of it.
Few things to find. Do it. Something for me. Need to recharge. Olympus, I accept this message. This way feels right. Blimey, aye.
It's no use.
Where was I? Hear me, on my authority. One to go. I can't. Ensnared. Couldn't do it. Imbued with greater strength. They think they caught a live one. I can't. I'll cast you out each time. Olympus, I accept this message. A path of golden petals shall guide you. Can't right now. Corruption cleared. now. Good. Come on, Stelamius. What? I wish. I've come this far. Myrtle. In the name of Hades. Hello? No, heal. Stay. 3 heads. You're... Cerberus, is that you? I'm going to help you, boy, no matter what. Return to Shadow now.